Iran's war power resolution just passed in the House earlier today. And, it's causing a lot of talk right now. So I really want to get into it. Here's just a quick video.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 208. The concurrent resolution is adopted.
And everybody was applauding. Thomas Massie went on X and stated that Iran war powers resolution that I co-sponsored opposing the war just passed the House of Representatives. The People's House is sending a message, end this war. So, what's that actually mean? The bill is not actually going to become law at all anyways, because what's going to happen is it's going to go to the Senate, and it's going to get voted on there. And then after the Senate, what's going to end up happening is it's going to go to the president, and then Donald Trump is going to veto it. And then it would require a 2/3 majority, which they're not going to be able to get in order to, circumvent the veto. But regardless, at least it passed through one chamber. I guess more than anything, it's kind of just a public declaration type of vote. The actual bill is right over here, and it says the summary, the concurrent resolution. Let me change my screen here so that way you guys can see this better. The concurrent resolution calls on the president, directs the president to remove U.S. armed forces from hostility against Iran unless explicitly authorized by a declaration of war or a congressional authorization for the use of force against military force against Iran. Elements of the U.S. armed forces needed to defend the United States, an ally, or a partner from imminent attack are not covered by this requirement, provided the president complies with a specific provision of the War Powers Resolution. The provision generally requires the president to remove U.S. armed forces from hostilities no more than 60 days after the president notifies or is required to notify Congress of such involvement unless Congress authorizes such use. That's what was ended up getting passed today. Now, ended up being passed with the help of, I believe, 4 Republicans. So it wasn't just Thomas Massie, which is pretty interesting. So I want to go over a few of the names here. I have the list. Let's see. I have some of them pulled up here. So one of them was Tom Barrett. And, he's still staunchly pro-Israel, so it's pretty interesting to see. And he says Congress has authorized exclusive authority under the Constitution to declare war and authorize the use of force. The War Powers Resolution of 1973 delegates some of that authority to the president for a limited period of time. That authority has expired, and my support of this resolution tonight is consistent with my belief that it is time for Congress to decide the scope of the mission and the appropriate limits on the use of force in Iran. And he made another statement, again, back a few days ago. Congress has the sole authority to decide when and how we go to war, which is why I introduced a resolution today to destroy Iran's nuclear program. And this is him speaking on CNN a few days ago.
I introduced this resolution.
Congressman Barrett says his new bill is designed to define the exact mission of the conflict, set a deadline, and prevent American boots from touching the ground.
Congress has sole authority to declare war. By extension of that authority, we have the right to decide how we are going to go about the use of force, and that's why I introduced this resolution. It has clear parameters in place, it has a clearly defined mission, and it has a clearly defined end date.
And who was the other ones that I wanted to show you guys? Oh, this is actually, it's separate. So Thomas Massie, who co-sponsored this bill, gosh, I wish Thomas Massie was still in Congress. Well, he's still in Congress right now, at least for another several months, and who knows what he'll be doing afterward. So he co-sponsored this bill, and then he also today, which I think is pretty awesome, he became the first Republican to co-sponsor the bill blocking U.S. arms to Israel. And he stated today, Israel has used American-supplied munitions to kill tens of thousands of innocent civilians. America is morally obligated to end support of Israel's devastation of Gaza and its people. I'm co-sponsoring the Block the Bombs Act to limit the transfer of offensive weapons to Israel. And it's listed here, the weapons it's referring to, and he co-sponsored it, and that's the first Republican to do so. That's a pretty big deal. I've been actually noticing too, I don't know if you guys have been, but if you guys are on Twitter much and you're reading what Thomas Massie is saying, I think that after this race ended, and, after it finally got over with and he didn't need to worry about it anymore, I think he's just been kind of going full ham on Israel. He really hasn't been holding back. I noticed he immediately called what's happening in Gaza a genocide. I noticed he immediately started talking, he started being more confident and being more bold in what he says. I think he's kind of at that I don't give an F type of energy now. And, I support it. I'm all for it. Go bang go crazy on the walls, or whatever the saying is. Go bang on the walls, or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. So it's been interesting. It's been cool to see. I've been really enjoying it, and he's been one of the few to do so. And it makes me wonder as well. How many other politicians, not just Republicans, Democrats as well, how many other politicians are in this mindset where they know they want to say other things, but they're holding back because they're worried about votes, because they're worried about whatever else? Probably a lot. And it makes you think, how many really have sold their soul out because they also are doing the same thing for money reasons, and they want to rely on a big mega donor or a big PAC, but they don't actually support a certain bill, but they got endorsed by a PAC, so now they have to. How many of those do you think are voting in a certain way? Probably a lot. Probably much of Congress. But this is that's kind of just how it goes. Get money out of politics. There was another thing I wanted to read to you guys. So the House voted 215 to 218 to approve the War Powers Resolution, or 215 to 208, with the help of 4 Republicans. Jared Golden of Maine, who has voted against the 3 previous failed attempts, also dropped his opposition. Thomas Massie, Brian Fitzpatrick, incredibly one of the most staunchly pro-Israel people, Tom Barrett, and Warren Davidson. He's one of the people that's listed as an America First Republican on votelog.org. So if you go to the website I put together and you search him up, here, let me share my full screen here so you guys could see this better. If you go to votelog.org and you search up, what's his name again? Davidson, then what you'll end up seeing is, Warren Davidson. And he's still pro-Israel. I mean, he still has plus 17 pro-Israel points. He hasn't received any money from a PAC. These are individual pro-Israel donors. So he's definitely not supportive of Palestine at all. But if you go to the America First metric here, here's Thomas Massie. These are Republicans who oppose Israel funding for non-interventionist reasons. And he's actually listed as the number 3. He has opposed Israel funding 2 out of 3 times. On big Israel funding votes for non-interventionist reasons. So it kind of just goes to show like where he stands on all of those, where he stands on that, which is pretty interesting. He's right over there actually. So that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, if you guys like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, again, definitely check out votelog.org. You get to see politicians, their entire voting record here, all of their sponsored and co-sponsored legislation. I even have it connected to the Census API so you can get a feel of, their district, who they represent. I have it connected to a YouTube API. You can see all of the different committees related to Israel, committees that kind of vote on resolutions regarding to Israel. And of course, you can go ahead and support me so I can keep building this site out. If you go to votelog.org/donate, definitely would appreciate the support. Otherwise, hope you guys found this video interesting. Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care and have a great day. Bye, everybody.